Hey everybody, it's Tuesday. It's a little after 10 o'clock, a little bit later than I was hoping to get started, but we had some issues come up with the kids' school attendance, so I've been in emails back and forth with the school trying to get everything approved and all that so they weren't missing school, even though everybody's already knows because we emailed them last week that we're in quarantine and they'll be doing their virtual stuff from home. Nothing's been loaded up for them to do anything, so all of them are just kind of sitting around while Tashelle is working because she answers phones, so everybody's got to be quiet, so everybody has to stay in their own rooms. So I'm down here about to start mowing the backyard, but yeah, this morning it was getting all the test appointments set up so that we can get tested, get negative results, and actually go back to school and back to work. Getting all those appointments set up, contacting the schools, just getting everything taken care of. So it's been a bit of a headache, but everything's taken care of now. So now I can start weed eating. So at the moment I need to take this head off and put on this brush blade. So the way we do this is going to be kind of hard to do with recording and everything. We take this little pin, it goes right in right there. Spin this, and now it's locked. So now that it's locked, I need to figure out a way to set down the... Actually, no, I should be able to... Yep, there we go. And there we are. So this is actually the piece that goes in here and goes on the thread of that rod so that I can actually... Let me show you. So this piece goes in, you spin it a little bit, there's a little notch, that's how it locks. So it is locked at the moment, but I need to flip my weed eater so that I can get to all this. So I need to put, I believe I put the blade on first. And then I put this piece that locks that in. Next I put on this bushing. And then I put on the lock washer. I never can remember. Yep, okay. So it's a left-handed thread. That's why it's turning left to tighten. And this is the chainsaw tool that came with the weed eater that I can just tighten everything up with. Get it all nice and snug. As long as that pin is still locking it, and it feels like it is. Alright, so that's tightened on there. And as you can see, that one bushing I put in, the threaded bushing that I put in underneath this one, that washer, it was concaved. So it's put on enough force on this to keep it in place. And there we go. Bob's your uncle. We're done. So now we just gas it up, head out there, start knocking stuff down. Like I said before, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it all in one day. We do have some appointments today. Later on this afternoon, which by that point in time, I think she has an appointment, and she's taking her daughter for one as well. So I'll need to be in the house to take care of the kids. So I won't have too much time to weed eat today, but I'll have enough time to get a good chunk done. So no use talking, better get to it. Ran out of gas, so I gotta go fill up. I've really only been out here for maybe an hour, so one tank of gas lasts me an hour, but I'll try and show you what I've done so far. I don't know if you can really tell, but I'll show you. Alright, so I started up here at the corner. See, there's the house, there's the compost pile, and here's the start of the walking trail that I mow. So you can see where it branches off down that way and back down towards the natural spring. So I started up here and I cut all this down. I think you can tell there's a line goes through here. Sorry if the camera's shaking, my arm is shaking uncontrollably. But I've also cut a path up that way and up into the brush that we cleared off in the spring. I am cutting down a bunch of saplings, not really meaning to, but like, let's see if it shows up on the camera. There's one right there that I left. I'm trying to be selective with these trees. It's kind of hard because everything's so tall and everything's like clutching together. I found more tires. So we've got all this grapevine that decided to come back. We've got this bramble, the blackberries or raspberries, whatever they called. They're wild. They're climbing through everything. It's all grabbing together and sticking tight. So as I'm going, I'm having to stop and grab everything, throw it off to the side, or I'm just having to just whack everything as best I can with the weed eater. But you can see I kind of have come up through this way. That doesn't need as much attention, just the high stuff knocked down, but it's this part that is where I'm at next. So this is where I stopped. There's my tulip poplar that I planted in the spring. I've come through up here, going up into the brush line. Like I said, I really don't have to do anything here except, at least in this area, but here I'll have to come through and knock down all the tall. So I don't really got to do anything right around to this. So I'm thankful for that. But as you can see, I'm 5'10". I'm holding the camera at eye level, and I've got goldenrod that's taller than 6 foot. So it's pretty thick. There's a walnut tree coming up through there. I'm going to try and save it. So I'm going to gas this up and go at it one more time. And due to time constraints, that might be the last thing I do outside today. So I ran the weed eater out of gas a second time. And then it was time for Tashelle to take Sophia and for them to go do their appointments. So I'm bringing you back down here to show you everything that I got done today, because I'm not doing any more weed eating for the rest of the day. I'm worn out. I sat down on the deck and ended up falling asleep. You see all our little trees coming up. I want to cut that locust down. I want to cut that locust down. I want to cut that locust down. And that locust. Oh, and that one too. Just so that all these trees, which are box elders and little dogwoods and walnut trees, you know, the stuff I actually like, so that they can grow up. There wasn't too much to come through and chop out here, so I didn't. I knocked down a few of the big goldenrods, but you can see all this right there, you can see kind of where I knocked everything down. And there's actually where I stopped. So I've got to come through in this little bit, the stuff that's taller than nematep, get it cut down. So you can see there's a lot of goldenrod here. But I got all the way, you can actually see the cedar trees now. And I got all this knocked down. So here's actually where I stopped. So turning around, this has all been done. This is yet to be done. So I'll work on this tomorrow. I knocked down a few things up in the corner. There's a few I have to come through all these trees. I mean, like I said, these are all locusts. I really don't want them. I want them to be gone. But come through, do some selective stuff through here. And then you can see all the goldenrod down there and back there. So this shouldn't be as difficult as this was, because there's not, I just stepped through the spring. There's not like all the little saplings everywhere. So these should just be, I should just be able to, you know, and just take everything down. Just go row by row, back and forth, and be able to run everything down. Got to start on that side of the walkway and all the way back. So yeah, I'm hoping, like I've said a few times, to have this whole backyard knocked down, taken care of, and I gotta do a better job taking care of it next year, because this I'm worn out, I'm sore. Like I said, I fell asleep on the deck. It's yeah, I'm worn out. Nematep's loving it because he now can actually see where he's going. I can hear him. There he is. What do you think about it, Nematep? Huh? What do you think about it? But, yep, that's all we've done today. It is Tuesday. As you can hear, it's not a good day to weed eat. So it rained overnight. I just went and got my tests. They did a rapid just because I'm showing symptoms, and they're doing a PCR because work requires it. Rapid was negative, so we're waiting on the PCR, which takes 24 48 hours, and just to get a more accurate, and because, like I said, work requires it. Rained overnight. It was sprinkling while we were doing the testing. It's not really doing anything now, but as you see, it's probably not going to be a good day to do anything outside. Here in about an hour and a half, I got to take my 3 kids and get their tests done. So don't know how long that's going to take. Maybe if it's cleared up by then, I can get something done, but who knows? Weather in Kentucky is pretty unpredictable. They can give a good guess, but it's not always correct. So who knows? We'll see. But this could be all of it for today. So I'll update you on anything else. So it's Thursday. I was supposed to take the weed eater and finish as much of the backyard as I could today. But I woke up, opened up an email that said my daughter's test results were in, and considering it was hers and not my daughter's and my 2 sons, I thought, oh, wonderful. And like I thought, I opened it up, she tested positive. Both my son's results have not come back yet. My results have not come back yet. So we're just kind of like, I guess we don't have it. But she definitely does. I don't know. This whole thing's a little weird. So just getting that news, and then getting everybody ready, taking care of everybody throughout the day. Uh, Emailing teachers, making sure the boys' work is completed, and just quit eating stuff. Just making sure the boys' work's completed and everything's taken care of. By the time I was free to actually come out here and do what I needed to do, it was pretty warm. It was pretty hot. I didn't feel like doing it, and I just kind of lost all motivation of doing anything. Because, 3 tests, 3 positive results in the house. It's kind of disheartening. But after talking with the health department, everything seems in pretty good order for majority of us to return back to work and back to school next week. The older kids, since they are vaccinated and not showing any symptoms, as long as they continue to do so, they can go back to school on Monday. Stepson, who tested positive, his quarantine ends like tomorrow or Saturday. And as long as he doesn't show any symptoms and isn't showing a fever for 24 hours, he can go to school on Monday. My youngest son is not vaccinated because he isn't old enough. My daughter is not vaccinated because she isn't old enough. She has it. He was sitting on the couch with her last night watching wrestling, like right beside her. So his quarantine time started over again because he was in close proximity contact with her. So I have to get him tested again Monday. So I can't go into work Monday because I have to stay here to take him to get tested, bring him back, take care of everybody else. And then according to health department, as long as my test comes back negative, I can go back to work Tuesday. So I've talked with the people at work that I'm supposed to talk with, my boss, HR, all that. So they all know what's going on. The only thing I need to do now is there's a email that we get from the health department that gives, the official dates of when everyone can return to work and school and all that. So we're waiting on that to send it to school so that my daughter and my youngest son, they can be updated on everything, because they both, as long as he tests negative on Monday, and as long as she doesn't show symptoms and doesn't have a fever for 24 hours, both of them can return to school on Thursday. So that's how everything's working out. It took so long to hear from the health department, and just once I heard from them, like a whole weight was like lifted off my shoulders, just knowing when everything can return, when we can take kids back to school, when we can go back to work, when everybody can get off of this quarantine and everything like that. So it definitely was like a wait. And tomorrow and this weekend will be focused on spraying this hill where all the grapevine and poison ivy is, and weed eating the rest of the entire backyard to get rid of all that goldenrod. So that's what I'm going to focus on tomorrow and Saturday, as long as I've got everybody doing what they need to be doing for school, taking care of everything like that. As long as I've got that in order, I can come out here, do a little bit of work, go back in for lunch, make sure everybody's still on track, still doing what they need to be doing, still taken care of, well taken care of. So that's how it's going to work tomorrow. And then Saturday, everybody's just going to rest. while I mow and then work some more. So, yeah, at least we got a game plan now. So I feel a lot better about that. So it's Friday morning. Deshelle took off work today because she just was not feeling good at all yesterday. Every single phone call she answered, just everything got worse and worse. So this morning she just called in. It's close to 10 o'clock right now. I could have started earlier, but it's better that I didn't because the dew is very heavy this morning. But I made sure all the kids were taken care of. Everything was, in good order before I walked out here. I'm going to run the weed eater out of gas once, go back in, double check everybody, make sure new things didn't come in for them to do. If they did, make sure they get them done, and then come back out, do some more. By that time, she should probably be awake and able to actually just make sure that they are on task. She doesn't need to be, sitting there helping them with their stuff. They can wait for me to be done and come inside. But I've really got to get this goldenrod knocked down. See now, Deshelle and Molly have both felt like they've had sinus infections or getting sinus infections since Sunday or Monday, which is about the time I started feeling like I've had or started to get a sinus infection. And I've felt it all week. And I'm still waiting on my result. The rapid test was negative. They did a rapid and a PCR on Deshelle, but the rapid immediately came back positive. Molly's PCR came back within less than 24 hours that she was positive. So I haven't heard anything from my PCR, so I'm assuming that I'm negative, but I'm still feeling like crap. So I don't understand this at all, but it's how things work. So if it is due to all this goldenrod, then I'm going to knock down as much of this crap as I can today. So less talking, let's get to it. I've ran this thing dry 3 times so far. I'm worn out. I had to sit down. I can't even walk back up to the house. But let me show you what I've done. So I got everything from the fence line to what they call the swinging oak, which is right over there. And then I've cut down the field. I'm sitting down, so it's a bad angle, but you can see where I've stopped over there and finished up this part behind me. First thing, 3 full tanks in my weed eater. Just get all this. 2 the other day for everything behind me. I've now ran the weed eater out 5 times. Still not done. I'm done for the day. I can't do anymore. I seriously just ran that tank of gas out, sat down, finished off the last of my water, and then just laid down on the ground and laid there until my back stopped hurting. So, yeah, I got a lot done. But it's still nowhere near close to done. So let me show you real quick. All right, so up here by the trail that I always mow, this was up this morning, so I mowed all of this right here. I mowed all of that all the way down through here. And we're back out the trail. So I've got a lot of this open area cut down. Getting into some of the trees over there. There's a locust tree that fell down over there, but it's still alive. You can see the branches that are coming off of it. They're actually, it's running underneath all the tall grass. The grass is what's actually catching me up right now. It's thick. It is really thick, and it's really tall. I did get all the way to the fence line back there and down behind it, but considering there's another little wooded area here, I just went around that. So it kind of goes up and around back to the fence line, up to the corner, and then down and around the other wooded area. It's right there underneath the kids' swinging tree. So, yeah, 5 full tanks of gas for the weed eater. It lasted about an hour each. So I've been out here for 5 hours total today, and I'm done. So we actually got word that my youngest son, his test came back positive this morning, the one that we took on Wednesday. Now, because he wasn't showing any signs and symptoms yesterday, we were told by the health department take him getting tested Monday, and then if it's negative, he could go back to school Thursday when Deshelle and Molly are able to go back to school and work. But now that his test from Wednesday is positive, I asked him how he's feeling today, and he said, I can't smell anything through my nose and my throat hurts. So he's now showing symptoms, which I think means this is either Wednesday when he took the test is his day one, or today is his day one. Which is so much fun. We have to wait on another call from the health department to see what's going on with him. I'm still waiting on mine. Mine still hasn't come back in. We're still waiting on my oldest son, Leland's. His still hasn't come back in. Of course, he's vaccinated and still not showing any kind of symptoms, so I think he's fine. Him and Luke and Sophia, my stepson and stepdaughter, should be going back to school on Monday. Because Luke's not vaccinated. He got his first shot, so he's halfway. But, that's just how things are going. So if I have to stay longer, because I've already told work that I still haven't gotten my test back, but as far as we know right now, I should be back at work on Tuesday. And now I've told them that Noah tested positive, so I don't know when I'm going to actually be back. So, but that kind of means I have time to finally finish this. And I think since I've cut so much down this year, I'm actually going to start finding, because I've never explored any of this. I never went looking in any of this, so I didn't know if there was like big rocks or ruts or anything. So I should be able to run the mower through some of these spots. Right where I stopped, this line right here, it kind of just drops off and it's all kind of bumpy and wavy. It's seriously, that's why we call that spot down there the washout. Down, let's see, right about, I don't know if that's the right spot. Right about there, it just kind of, there's a gully. And it's where the whole backyard rushes to and washes out. So that's what we call the washout. But that's why everything's all like that the closer you get to it, because the water's hitting it, taking big chunks of dirt with it. So it's all washed out right there. So everything I have weeded right now, I should be able to run a mower through, or my mower through, pretty easily. Haven't seen many big things sticking out, which is good. It's just, I'm gonna have to do it maybe once a month next year. Maybe less, once or twice a month. Still cut in some walking paths, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do better maintenance of this next year, because 7 total gas ups, 7 hours of weed eating, I'm still not done. So, yeah, I got to do better next year. So, all right, that's all I'm doing for today. I might just mow tomorrow, and then that be it. Who knows? Just see how I'm feeling tomorrow. So, we'll keep you updated. It is Saturday morning, and here's where we're at. It's like 11 o'clock. As you could probably hear from the microphone, it's got a pretty good breeze going. It feels really good today. It's not humid. It's not hot. Just, it's like perfect. Like that 68 to 71, that little range. It's perfect. It's perfect. So, really good day to mow. I've let everything dry off pretty good. But here's my problem. 5 hours of weed eating. I'm not used to doing more than one. As I'm standing right now, my back feels fine. But start moving around, doing like bends, anything with my back, it starts hurting. My right arm, from my elbow to the tips of my fingers, are about half numb. It's like that stage of having your limbs fall asleep, where you can feel everything, your sense of touch is heightened, and it's the like pins and needles when you touch stuff. Yeah, so it's halfway asleep, halfway numb. I really don't want to mow, like I really don't, because I'm just in. I just don't. Back hurts. My arm's numb. I just don't. So what I'm going to do, my son, the one who hasn't tested positive, I'm going to teach him how to use a mower today. But I'm going to mow the front yard, because that's what I'm the most worried about him mowing, because of the slope towards the road, because the way it needs to be mowed, because the mower I use, I mean, it's a walk behind. And it's not the kind where you pull the brake and it turns. It's, you pull one, it goes. You pull the other, the blades spin. So you have to manually turn the mower. So for it to be a zero turn, you let go of the drive handle, keep the blade handle on, because that puts the wheels in neutral, and you can turn it 180 degrees. The zero turn. But with the slope heading towards the road, and us having to mow back and forth on the slope instead of up and down up the slope, when you turn and face down, like face downhill, because you don't have the drive control on, it wants to jump forward. I just don't want the mower to get away from him. I don't want him to get hurt. I mean, it does have a safety where when you let go of the blade control, it shuts the blades off and it locks the wheels so it doesn't go nowhere. But we all know safety features can fail. I also know I spent a good bit of money on that mower, and I don't have the money to fix it, and I definitely don't have the money or time, considering we're all quarantined, to run him to the hospital for whatever injuries he can sustain from all this. So I'm going to start him on the easiest part of the yard, which is down there, the trail that leads back, and our backyard, because it's the flattest of the flattest of the land. So I'm going to have him do that. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the front yard, which is probably going to kill my back and put me out for the rest of the day. And then I'm going to train him on using the mower. And I think that's going to be it. So I may do a update afterwards just to tell you how well it went. But then that'll be it. I'm just going to take the rest of the weekend and rest. Still am not going to work on Monday because my test results haven't come in. Can't go in anywhere until my test results come in. So Monday I may try and finish up the weed eating down by the washout, but that'll be for next week's vlog. Alright, it's really late in the day because I kind of forgot to give you a final update. Yard's mowed. My dog just peed and scratched the ground and threw a big clump of dirt on me. Thanks, jerk. Anyways, the yard is mowed. I mowed the front yard and the side yard where the deck and pool used to be. So the easiest part of the yard I left for my son. Gave him pretty much the basic rundown of how to use the mower and sent him on his way. Walked with him. He did fine going down the first time, but then when you come around, you have to put the front wheel in the track and do the little overlap. He couldn't keep it. Like he would slide out, and then I'd have to push him back in, and I hadn't made him go and redo it. I mean, it's his first time. He's never really watched anybody mow or paid attention to anybody mowing. So I thought maybe he would at least have some kind of concept with it. Nope. I did the best I could with him. But of course, it's being his first time, and I don't really have too much patience. He got 2/3 of what I left him to mow done, and then just finally was tired of him not staying in the track, that I grabbed the mower and just said, just sit there and watch me do it to see what I'm even talking about. So I finished it off. But back's feeling fine now, but I had to lay down for like 3 hours because it just hurt really bad after I mowed. But it's all done. I rested up. We just finished dinner, taking the dog out right now, and then I was like, oh yeah, I gotta film another thing for the vlog. So, but there you go. That's it. That's gonna be all for this vlog. I'm not gonna do anything tomorrow other than sit at the computer and do a ton of editing for everything. I think on total I shot 5 Transformers videos. So I gotta get those edited. I gotta do the Too Long Didn't Read version of the D&D campaign, and I gotta get this put together. So I got a lot of editing to do tomorrow. So might as well get a jump start on some of it tonight. So I don't have so much to do tomorrow. So I'm gonna get off here and take the dog back in, and then I'm gonna get back to work on some editing, either now or here after a bit, after I rest a little bit more, because like I said, I just ate and I'm at a point where I'm comfortable, so gotta let that digest. So as always, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My handles are at the end of the video on the outro, and the links are in the description. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post, because I post every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. So keep up to date with all your notifications for all my videos, and stay tuned. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.